right, Boise State and Oregon. Oregon, 19-point home favorites in Eugene, 61 the total. Let's just look at this from a pure spot perspective and scheduling standpoint for Boise. Boise goes all the way west to east, Georgia Southern, Statesboro, Georgia last week. They're in a barn burner with Georgia Southern. Don't be fooled by the final score. They had to work for that one, Boise State. No doubt about that. But their offense was awesome. Maddox Madsen was good throwing the ball, but more importantly, it was the Ashton Jeanty show. I don't know if I've seen a running back in a single game play that well in a long time. He was that good. He was unbelievable for Boise State. He's the reason Boise State survived that, because the Boise defense was not good at all. I mean, this new quarterback, J.C. French for Georgia Southern, he was moving the ball up and down against that secondary. That Boise defense has work to do. They got to get better. 45 points and giving up, 460 yards.
61,
that's not good enough. 322 through the air. That secondary got torched, quite honestly, by J.C. French in that game. But that Boise offense looks like the real deal. Madsen was good, efficient, and Ashton Jeanty, what can you say? Are you kidding me? 267 rushing yards in one fucking game. 6 rushing touchdowns. 6 from the running back, Ashton Jeanty. Are you shitting me? Unbelievable performance. He just basically staked his claim right there as to why he's one of the best running backs. I don't care. Power 4, group of 5, who gives a shit? He is one of the best running backs, period, right now in college football. No doubt about that. Man, that was a great offense, but that defense was ass. And now you're going on the road, and you're going from Georgia all the way back to Oregon, road for the second straight week against an Oregon offense that should be explosive and dynamic, except they weren't that explosive and dynamic last week against Idaho. I was stunned by that. I did not see that coming, that Dylan Gabriel and the Oregon offense would struggle to that level. 49-point favorites against Idaho. Never mind scoring 49. They didn't even score half of that. They scored 24 in that game. That was it. Now, he was efficient, 380 through the air, 41 of 49, but a lot of it was just dink and dunk. There wasn't a lot of big-time explosiveness. We'll see if that was just a one-off or if Oregon can kind of look more like the offense we expected. Defense was pretty good, I will say that. Only 49 rushing yards for Idaho, 168 through the air. The defense did look good. This is a really intriguing game. It's a lot of points with Boise. But it's Oregon. Like, if Oregon plays like that on offense, they're not covering 19 here against Boise in this game. But it's a really tricky spot, C-Mac, for Boise, right? You go down to Georgia, and now you're all the way back up and on the road again to Oregon here in the Pacific Northwest. That's a real tough 2-game back-to-back weeks road trip for Boise. Very, very tough game for me to gauge, because to me, if Oregon plays like that on offense again this week, they're not covering 19. But if Boise State plays the way they did on defense last week, I could see Oregon getting their offense on track and making big plays with Gabriel and company. So I'm leaning over right now, honestly, in this game.
Yeah.
Oregon can get their offense going, and Boise clearly, that offense looks very, very good, in my opinion. And what you got to be and I know they shut down the run last week, Oregon against Idaho, but see them do it here. Over is the stance I like most. I'm not really bullish on one side or the other at the current number of 19. C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, I thought this number, I don't over here or nothing, right? I think there's a little bit of, I know there's the overreaction, Boise, all those points and gave it up. But yeah, this travel spot's shit. And Oregon's going to be, this is what this game, some of these games,
right? This is the bigger game for them.
Yeah. And there was a lot of ding and dunk. They had a ton of yards. Like, Gabriel threw for 380. Like that, they should have had, a few more touchdowns. Just seeing, you know what I mean, with everything. It was sloppy though. When I went through some of these, I might have missed a few. But Ben, it was like this. Oregon, a lot of penalties. Like 8%, just everything. They just weren't. First game wasn't in sync. And Boise, that Georgia Southern defense just isn't good. But yeah, they moved the ball. I mean, as much as Boise lit it up 650, you said 461 for Georgia Southern. I don't know how we don't get points in this one. I don't know. I'm going to mess with the side here in the week too, because I think this could be a bounce back for Oregon, but I don't really want to lay almost 3 touchdowns with them.
Yeah, you're preaching to the choir, Myron, about the Peacock complaints. You need a fucking roadmap and a compass this year to find out which network and which TV station has which college.
Yeah, you gotta
football
be
game.
everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like,
Jesus. It's not easy to figure it out. You got to have like you got to have that printout schedule right in front of you. So I know this is on Fox. This is on FS1. This is on Peacock. This is on ESPN, ESPN2, ESPN News.
I forgot that yesterday,
PBS Sports Network. I could go on forever. Yeah.
I forgot my sheet. I'm at Circa. I was at Circa last night, and I forgot the sheet and because that's normally what I have here. So I left there, and I'm on the way home, and I go, I forgot the sheets. I always usually grab them Sunday nights. Yesterday was a Monday, so I'm like, oh my God. Maybe I wouldn't have got the neutral site too, because that's always on there. The game where it's at with NC State, since I had to do it all on my own.
Not to mention all the ESPN Plus games, because there's so many of those smaller games that are on ESPN Plus.
ESPNU
on there. That's how I watched Tennessee Tech, Middle Tennessee at the end. ESPN Plus had that one. I was trying to see if they would blow the game entirely there.